Deceit, Cruelty, and Revenge is the name of the game for today. The title is, Am I the a-hole for cutting my children's inheritance off? Also, there's a separate perspective from one of the children added also. My name's Mr. Reddito, and today I'm presenting one of the craziest stories I've ever read. It comes complete with every single update. Guys, if you're new to the channel, check it out, subscribe, and let's hop into this crazy story. Backstory: 2 years ago, I, 46 female, lost my husband in an accident, and I was heartbroken. We had 3 children, and I thought we were very happy until his mistress showed up at my door, demanding money to support the child my husband fathered. I did not believe her, but she was able to prove it with screenshots, messages, etc. The image I had of my husband was forever tainted, and he left me with a mess. Because of bitterness about the betrayal and how offended I was by the mistress's lack of remorse and entitlement, I told she wasn't getting a dime and that she shouldn't have slept with a married man. She kept harassing me, and when it wasn't going to work, she went to my husband's family to put pressure on me to give her what she wanted. She even tried to involve my children, leveraging her silence for money. I knew that once I gave her money, she would come back, so I told them myself. My husband and I had well-paying jobs, lucrative investment savings, and I got a sizable amount from the life insurance policy. I consulted a lawyer, and while she could prove the affair, it did not prove paternity, and since my husband wasn't on the birth certificate, nor could she produce that my husband's acknowledged the child, she had no case. After my lawyer sent her a strongly worded letter, I did not hear from her for a while and thought it was over until my oldest, Alex, who is a 19-year-old female, came to me and said that she did a DNA test with the mistress behind my back. Apparently, she did it because she wanted to get this resolved. The child deserved to know who their father was and get the financial support that they were owed. My husband had a will that stated each of his children were to split an inheritance that they would only access when they went to college, and could not get full control until the age of 25. When the results came back, proving that my husband was indeed the father, the mistress took me to court. It was a long legal battle, but eventually a settlement was made. I sat Alex down and explained to her that her inheritance would be split 50-50 between them, and her half-sibling as part of the settlement agreement. When she asked if my other children had to split theirs, I told Alex no. My husband's will stated that it had to be split, but it didn't say it had to be equal, and until each of the children were 25, I have full control. Alex was upset, saying that it wasn't fair. I countered, saying that it wasn't fair that my other 2 children have to get less share because of my oldest choices. And if they wanted their full share, they shouldn't have done the DNA test. There's still plenty of money for Alex to finish college, she just won't have much after that. I do plan on dividing my estate equally in my own will. All of this Alex knows, but they're still giving me the cold shoulder. My own siblings think that it wasn't fair and I'm punishing Alex for doing right by her half-sibling, but I don't see it that way. Am I the a-hole? Update before the update. Thank you to everyone's responses, even the ones calling me the a-hole. But based on a few frequent questions, comments, and or themes, I feel like I need to clarify some things. Alex is my daughter, not my son. When I first started writing this, I wanted to leave gender out of it, in case it influenced people's judgment. But then I remembered that it tends to prefer that age and gender get mentioned, so I added 19 female at the last minute. I hope that clears it up a little. My other 2 children are Junior, 17 male, and Sam, 14 female. The half-sibling is now 5. When my husband drafted the will 10 years ago, he initially named just our children, but a friend of ours had an oops baby, so he changed it to just be his children in case we had another one. At least, that's what he told me. After the mistress threatened to tell my children and I decided to tell them, I sat them all down and explained the situation. They were understandably devastated and asked if they really had another sibling. I told them that I did not know and that if the mistress could prove it, she might get some money. I told them if they wanted to know if they had a sibling or not, we could find out, but I made sure that they understood that their inheritance could be affected, and other people might come out claiming the same thing and get more money. Initially, all my children said they did not want to have to deal with that, and so I did everything I could to protect them. But I guess Alex had a change of heart. Until the DNA test, I had no reason to believe that my husband's mistress was telling the truth, and acted accordingly. I kept following my lawyer's advice, and if she wanted the money, the burden of proof was on her. While some of you might think I was the a-hole, please understand that my decision was not spiteful. If I really wanted to, quote, punish Alex, I would just tell them they weren't getting any more money since they already used some of it for the first year of college. So the guidelines of the will were technically already met. I still plan on leaving them my equal share of inheritance from my estate too. Now time for the big update. Thank you so much for so many responses, even the ones who did not 100% agree with me because it did give me perspective. I also wanted to give an update and answer some questions to anyone who's curious, so here it goes. Since I told Alex what would happen, she told her siblings, and the house has been pretty tense. To try and make peace, I spoke to each for mine one-on-one, and as a group to figure out what to do next. I spoke to Alex first, and some interesting information was revealed that I'm very angry about. Apparently, the mistress created a fake profile account and manipulated my daughter into befriending her. After gaining my daughter's trust, she pretended that she was in a similar situation as her, and said that a DNA test proved that there wasn't any paternity. When Alex went behind our back, she thought that it would prove the mistress was trying to scam us. My son, Junior, who's 17, is furious that Alex went behind our backs and doesn't care why she did it, and blames her for them being, quote, stuck with a half-sibling who he doesn't want. My daughter, Sam, who's 14, said she wishes she never knew the truth and is deeply upset. I asked my children that, since they know the truth, would they want a relationship with their half-sibling? Junior clearly wants nothing to do with the child, and says that Alex should feel lucky he still considers her a sister. Sam said she doesn't want to, and I feel it's because she's in denial and wants to live life pretending that her father was perfect. Alex admits that she's curious but never wants to see or hear from the mistress ever again, so she doesn't think a meeting will ever be possible. I proposed family therapy, and while my girls are open to it, my son says that therapy is only for people who have something, quote, broken in them, and that he's not even broken. He is now happy that his father's dead and wants to change his last name as soon as he turns 18. I'm not going to force him, but I do hope he changes his mind one day. Hey guys, Mr. Reddito here, so that was a crazy story, but just so y'all know, I came across an extra post that was from the little sister that was actually deleted but got recovered. Here it is. I'm a 14-year-old female and lost my dad in an accident almost 3 years ago. I was so upset. One minute he was there, and one day my mom and grandparents sat me, my sister, and my brother down to say he was in the hospital, and 3 days later he was gone. I loved my dad so much, and while I knew he wasn't perfect, I still thought he was a great man. Then, one day, my mom, who's 46, sat me and my siblings down again and told us that a woman was going around claiming that her child was also dad's. They're younger than me, which meant my father cheated. We were all very upset and refused to believe that her dad would be so horrible. Only reason my mom was telling us was because the woman threatened to if she wasn't given money to go away. From the day forward, I knew I would hate her for the rest of my life, because we were starting to get used to my dad not being around, and she shoves her greedy hands into our family. My mom offered to do a DNA test to prove if this child was really our half-sibling. My siblings and we all said no. It was a stressful battle for my mom, but she fought for us and eventually the woman went away. Then my sister decided to do the damn DNA test behind our backs and prove my dad was not a good person. I don't know if I can ever forgive my sister for doing that to me. My sister's upset that my brother and I don't support her decision, but I don't see why I should. I wanted this woman to go away forever, but now that there's undeniable proof that she had my dad's last child, unless there's another baby out there somewhere, my paternal grandparents want a relationship, and they want me to just accept it and say it's my big sister. I don't want to. My brother's hardcore against this and wants to legally change his name when he hits 18. I'm honestly thinking to change my surname too, because my paternal family's starting to be really awful to my mom. My grandma's acting like having this child around is a blessing, and it's incredibly insulting to my mom. But I guess her feelings don't matter to them anymore. For Christmas, my paternal side wants us all to do a Zoom meeting so we can officially meet my dad's other child, give them presents, and tell them we can't see them in person. I don't want to do that. I don't want to see my dad's mistress. I don't want to pretend that I have good feelings towards this kid. I don't know them, and I don't care to know them. Their existence is just a painful reminder of the awful thing my father did. How little he cared about my mom, and how easily replaceable I am as the quote, baby of the family. My paternal aunts know that this situation isn't ideal, but think that I'm being selfish and need to learn to get past what's happened. I don't see why I should, I don't see why I have to. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to join a Zoom chat to meet my new sibling? Guys, this was a wild story, but in my opinion, I think we're overlooking one major detail. The fact that Alex was made out to be some grotesque person who went behind all her siblings' back and struck them for their money by revealing this DNA. But I noticed that OP did not mention very much about the fake profiles that this mistress created and basically made Alex do the DNA test by tricking her. We have to remember that that is horrible. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comment section down below. I think that's a game changer because they were painting the picture as if Alex was some horrible, horrible person. I don't know, it kind of skewed my whole judgment when I learned that the mistress was creating fake profiles and begging her, pretending to be her friend, tricking her, who knows what she was doing. Let me know your opinion about that, guys. That's all the content I have for you today. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We have daily videos that cover all sorts of topics here at Mr. Reddito. I hope you guys all have an amazing day, and I'll catch you in the next one.